Dice que me esperen no.
In the club, I see you looking out the corner of your eye. Trying to act like you don't know what's up, like you didn't even see me walk by. You stay by the bar drinking, but I know what you are thinking. You wanna know if I can move, well watch me put these moves on you. You pretend that you're unsure, but I know that you just want your hands in my thighs while you look in my eyes. Get a glance at my lips, say can you handle this? And accept this invitation. Get out on the floor when I tip it down low. Watch me bring it up slow. Wanna give you some more.
The champ is here. 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 The champ.
That's right. I'm back again for another hour. I'm trying to get all of these interviews in before we move from Globe Life Park. Our next interview is with Edward Okpa, who is running for United States Congress. He is running late, and we happen to have him here online right now. So we're just going to make this part of the show. Watch. This is how you do this. Let's listen in. Hey, Edward.
Hey, I'm at the security. I don't know what this guy is asking me. Is that a third floor?
It's on the third floor. This
Okay, thank you.
You're live right now on air right now. So that's cool. Yeah, we're making this part of the show, man. You know, this is part of it.
Okay.
All right.
Go
so
on the third floor.
Third floor. Yeah, you there? Okay. All right, we'll see.
I don't see third floor here.
No, it's the third floor. You're on the corner of Roundel Mill and Ballpark Way, where the baseballs are at. You see the baseballs, the 6 baseballs in front of the stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, third floor.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You see, that's the magic of being on a commish radio show. Nothing phases me. You see how we did that? Duke was like, we're just going to put them on air right now. It's like, let's just make them part of the show. Getting in here sometimes has been a problem. It truly has. It's been great being here, but sometimes it's been a problem. And we got mic levels right on this one? Okay, and the issue with that is that, you know, it's somewhat intimidating to come to a baseball stadium, a football stadium. It's like, where are you at? You heard that. Now, where we at as well is with this political season that's going on right now. We just happen to have some judges here, and they are in a much anticipated campaign with the incumbent and the challenger. And I'll just go ahead and mention names because obviously you know about it. You've been following me here on Twitter and Instagram, Ed Grade 1906, on both of them. But on Facebook, we've had on our show, our sister show, Black Tea Sip, we had Judge Andrea Lane and also Judge Kim Cooks. And it was a very energetic show. That's the best way to pronounce that. This guy will continue to try to find his way in here. So I'm going to go ahead and let Duke handle this, which also happens to be the title song of the song that we've been playing, which is Handle This. So can you handle this? Can you handle the way politics is done today? Can you handle the fact that when we are in this political season, it seems like any and everything goes? But, you know, that's the problem that we have a lot of times with people who run for office. We do not elect saints. We don't elect saints. We elect imperfect men and women. But we demand perfection out of our leaders. Well, good luck with that. But what we like to do on the Commish Radio Show is give everybody an equal chance. And that's what we've done. We've given everyone an equal chance to express themselves. And because of the nature of this show, because we are not run by massive commercials, You know, I've named some big hamburger chains, big pizza chains. They don't give to this show. This is self-sponsored, which clearly means I give to the show, or the people who believe in the platform give to the show, which is the very reason why we had Vonda Bailey on the show, who's running against Kim Cooks, which is the very reason why we had Kim Cooks here herself, Judge Kim Cooks herself on this show, to give that equal platform. It's left up to you, the people in Dallas County, to decide who you're going to vote for. We don't have saints that are running for office. We have people that are running for office. And we, the people, have to make a decision. And as I get ready to go to a close in this era of bad feelings, which seems to permeate this country, be it from the top to the bottom, be that people are running for judicial office in Dallas County or running for president of the United States, we're seeming to go to each other and not be with each other. I want you to be back with us in the next 30 minutes when we will interview a Republican. Yeah, that's right, a Republican on my show, where we try to bring back people together. We may not agree with each other, but stay tuned. Take care.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
This Judge Mike Jones, your current Justice of the Peace for Precinct 4, Place 1. Re-elect me for the Democratic primary election, and I listen to the Commission Radio Show.
Hi, this is Dominique Collins. I am the judge of Criminal District Court number 4 in Dallas County. I'm also the judge of your Dallas County veterans, serving veterans all over the Metroplex. And when I want to know what's in the hearts, minds of Dallas County, I listen to the Commish Radio Show.
Look what you've done to me. I never thought I'd be like this.
This Judge Mike Jones, your current Justice of the Peace for Precinct 4, Place 1. Re-elect me for the Democratic primary election, and I listen to the Commission Radio Show.
Okay. This is no more mic, headphones. Back again, Commish Radio Show, the best radio show from Como to the Congo, from Como to the Congo. And you know, if you're in, well, clearly, if you're in Fort Worth, you know where Como's at. And if you're part of the world, you should know where the Congo's at. And if you're part of the world, you should know about the great continent of Africa. And that's the reason why we have this show on, because we are all descendants of Africa. Humanity started in Africa, and you know what? We have one of the great Africans here today, Edward Okpa, my brother, my village man, and you know, it's ironic that we played TKO with that, because how can you get this going on like this? I normally don't have Republicans on this show. I don't like Donald Trump. I just simply don't like him. But you know what? I like my village man, Edward Okpa, Ed Okpa. Something about that name, Ed, I kind of like. But you know what? We're going to talk for a few minutes. I'm glad you finally got in the building, man.
Well, you know, trying to find Jews like trying to find a diamond.
Oh, well, hey, it's well worth the find, though.
Yeah,
it's well worth the
I never
find.
give up. I said, I gotta find my village, man.
Man, hey, man, well, we appreciate you. I said we wanted to get you on the show before we left. You know, the last time you was on the show, we were over at the old place.
Yes, the 2225.
Yeah, but now, you know, what do you think of this, man?
You got a view, beautiful view.
Yeah.
But the whole building the offices are empty. What's going on with that? They're trying to redevelop it?
I think what they're going to try to do is redevelop it and make casinos out of this, man.
Okay.
Because Choctaw owns this, man.
Yeah. It should be like a destination use, you know, casino hotels and
I think that's what's going on with that. They won't let us know that. But, they put the name on it, so, hey. Because, you know, the first time I was here in this studio, I was invited to be here for a fundraiser, ironically, for myself. When I was running for Arlington School Board, John Malden, you may know him, John Malden, who was one of the treasurers. I believe he was a treasurer for the Republican Party. I was running for a position in Arlington in the City Council School Board, and he had an interest in my campaign. So, you know, we're talking about bipartisanship right here. But you know.
Well, you know, good people are what we're looking for. The party level, you know, is what it is. If you're good, you're good. I don't dislike people because they are for their political position or political identity. I look for people who have interest in public service, who recognize that, you know, if all men and women were angels, there wouldn't be need for government.
That's what I said during the previous radio podcast when we were coming in. I was saying we elect people. We don't elect saints. We don't do that.
Every one of us is not a saint. We have stains, but it's how we manage.
I like that,
stains.
saints and stains. I see that. I see what you did.
It's how we manage those things.
Now you are a reasonably intelligent man.
Well, you know, if it's coming from another Edward, I'll take it.
But then I have to ask you this: why are you a Republican, man?
But you know, when I look at the symbols of the two parties, I see an elephant and I see a donkey. What do you think I should like?
The elephant and the donkey.
I like the elephant better than the donkey.
Now, how long have you been a Republican, man?
I've been a Republican from birth. I mean, you know, as long as I recognize myself and responsibility and duty to myself and my community, it's you know, fortunate or rather unfortunate. I come to America and people think because you're black, you know, you have to subscribe to a particular political philosophy. Mine is responsibility. Mine is accountability. Mine is self-actualization, recognizing what, you know, the community is all about. Because a tree can make a forest, but if the tree produces, you know, the seedlings, that makes the forest. So the Republican value, you know, kind of appeals to me. But I have nothing against the Democrat. You know, you're my friend. When we talk, we don't talk because we're Democrat or Republican. We talk because we are human beings, and we have a goal we have something to work on. And I recognize your strength. You recognize my strength. We know each other's weaknesses, and we manage it. So it's not about the party. It's like having a coin. Each coin is either a tail or head, is it not? You got to choose a side. But if you want the coin to roll, a coin does not roll on either head or the tail. It has to roll on its edge. So you need both sides in order for the coin to roll.
So both sides, and then we're going to go to a break for a second. You've been a Republican that long.
Yes.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I voted for him.
Why?
I like the man. I mean, he has his own faults. Just like if you were to be president or mayor of Arlington or president of America, you think everybody's going to be cheering for you? It's not about that. It's about you believing in something and doing it. Mm-hmm. So, and I didn't come to America because of Trump or Clinton or Bush. I came here in the 80s. Mm-hmm. I came because I wanted to be an American. And it has nothing to do with the political parties.
Now that you've been here, and you've been an American now for how long?
Since 1995.
1995. And you've ran for office before. What
I ran for mayor of Dallas.
Mayor for Dallas.
Yes. And my wife said, don't do it anymore. She said you should go for Congress.
So you listen to your wife?
Of course.
For a change.
Well, I always do, because at the end of the day, when I go to sleep, we're sleeping next to me.
Say that right there. Okay. Okay. When we come back, we will go ahead and get into Edward Okpa for United States Congress and see what he has to say. You know, we already, you know, got the most obvious thing out of the way. We're talking about angels and saints in politics. This is what we're focusing on the second hour. The civility in politics is what we focusing on from the local level to the national level. We'll be right back.
Who was that masked man? You mean you don't know? That was no masked man. That was the commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, hi. This is Dr. Tiffany M. Lloyd, host of Jesus and Justice with Dr. Tiff, broadcasting live each week on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time from Fishbowl Radio Network Studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Tune in to hear how we will be unpacking issues in our society, aligning with the teachings of Christ. So be sure to log on each week on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time to catch Jesus and Justice with Dr. Tiff. Follow me on Facebook at Dr. Tiffany M. Lloyd. Jesus and Justice with Dr. Tiff.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com.
Jump in.
Such restraints don't seem to let me move. But I'm convinced, even though my suspicions I can't prove. So it's on when I call on the squad and put together a case and plan a high-speed chase. It's time to investigate. First thing when I get to the scene, I gather evidence out of a routine. And next step, I start the interview prep and cast you in the lead as my chief suspect.
You know, you've been listening to the Commish Radio Show, and what we've done now is that we go with local artists, and that was one of the local artists that we feature here on the Commish Radio Show. I produce the local artists. No, I'm not the producer of it. I actually produced the child. That is Janelle Gray. This is from her CD, which is entitled Handle This. You can get it on CD Baby. I'm closing out all of the CDs that we have right now because I'm right here with you, so you can do that. What do you think of it?
I like the music, and I'm glad it's your daughter that produced it, so it's personal to me, and I thought she was, if you know, maybe she will sign it, but I buy it. I put it in my collection.
Well, good. You got a lot of things you put in your collection. Now, I've been to your house before, and you have a eclectic collection of all of the things that you've done. And one of the things that we're talking about, and this is what we're talking about, is civility in politics, is which we all need to have, a civility in politics, is that I see at your house a picture of you and the president. How many presidents have you met?
I've met every one of them since George Bush Sr., except for the president now, Joe Biden.
Okay. So when he comes to town, you're going to meet him?
I respect.
Well, you're going to respectfully decline during this primary.
You know, if the president were to call me today, say, I want you to do X, Y, Z for America, and it aligns with me, I will do it. If it's something that I know that goes against my own value, I will say no. But I respect the office of the president. Now, whoever is the occupier is something else, because they are human beings, and those human beings have their issues. Whether the issues is the way they deal with people, they talk to people, talk at people, that's all. Every one of us has those qualities in us. But to serve the people, it's not an easy job. Nobody who is a president of America is going to go without somebody hating him, liking him, whatever. We are the only country in the world where such things happen. If we say what we say about our president in most countries, we disappear.
Okay, so we're looking at the policies that you say you'll fight for, and let's go through some of them. It's Edward Okpa for U.S. Congress. Which seat are you running for?
I'm running for nomination in the GOP, District 32, presently occupied by a Democrat, calling all red, and I'm hoping to make him see all red in November when I win the nomination.
Okay, so I got some comments right here. It says Kenny Lee Fields, Sr., he has a lot of comments on here. Man, we may just have him call in at some point, but that's, wow, it's a lot of great. So let me just go ahead and read one of them. He says that I'm a Republican, but I didn't support Donald Trump. You don't have to support Trump to be a Republican. That's what Kenny Lee Fields says. So
Yeah.
Kenny Lee, so thank you for listening in. And as you see, before this is what we're doing, civility here. Civility in politics is what we do. Trump hasn't been civil in politics.
Well, if the word civil is what you and I know it, we can have different interpretation on this. But the way I look at it is this way: no other politician in America would have handled what he had to deal with from the time he was sworn in, from the time he left office. For 4 years, it was one thing after the other. About him, against him. He's a human being. He's a father. He's a husband. But he still got the job done. And for the 4 years he was in office, how was the economy doing?
The economy was good.
Yeah.
But the economy was always been good, even when it was with Obama.
But at least we got to talk to the most recent time.
Yeah.
And he did it. He had NAFTA changed. He had NATO people start to pay for their own security. He got 3 people into the Supreme Court. He reached out to the African American community, to the historically black colleges, and did a whole bunch of stuff that Obama didn't do.
He couldn't do it. Obama couldn't do it because of the very mere nature of it.
No.
But let's talk about what you can do.
What I can do.
No,
what I can do, Ed, you know my story. You know part of my story. You've been to my house. I started as a boss boy in this country, even though I was college educated when I came to America. My dad, I didn't have to come to America. I came from a privileged background.
I understand your father was like
my father was a chief. My great-grandfather was a court interpreter. When the British were building customary court, my grandfather was interpreter for them. Then my father, and then myself. My older sister, same mom, same dad, was a first lady in Nigeria because the husband was a governor. So I came from those kind of background. But I wanted to come to America.
Okay.
And I came.
And you come into America and you came legally.
I came legally.
Okay. And now the reason why I say legally because you say policies I will fight for in the border crisis, which is immigration from other countries.
Well, illegal immigration.
Well, that's why I said legally.
Legal.
Because you have not a way, but the interpretation that you have here on this card, it says in the border crisis, which means it's a border crisis,
It's a border crisis, just like if, in our various homes, we have fences around the home. Your house has a fence.
Right.
Okay?
I put a lock on it the other day.
And they put a lock on it. And then
so nobody couldn't just walk through the fence.
As much as you and I are friends, if you go home and I'm jumping your fence in the back of your house, what are you going to say to me? He just say, hey, what's up?
How are you going to end the border crisis?
How we're going to end it is that we either build a fence or with the technologies we have, we put a robust technology there to begin to track people who cross the border. Our technology is so good that if we create a buffer 5 miles to the borderline, 5 miles into the borderline, if you walk into that zone, we'll be able to track you. How long is the border? 1,200 and something miles. For every 50 miles, we have this camera system focus. We get a satellite thing there. It's a coordinate. We program that coordinate to focus on the border. So when you are 5 miles into the border, something is tracking you already. Just like in your house, you have a camera system. Before somebody gets to your front door, don't you see them?
Right.
Before anything. So we can have the same thing in our borders.
Okay. Now, you call that sensible immigration policy?
Sensible in the sense that, look, those who want to come to America like I did should come. They should come by choice, and they should come legally. Because when you come legally, then you have the opportunity to avail yourself of what this country has to offer. No other country in the world is like America. As much as some of us feel America is this or that, I say, what are the choices? China, Mexico, Canada, England, Russia, Japan. Are they the country that if America fails today, any one of us is going to have the preference to go to? No.
So the immigration policy that we have right now, it has not changed since President Ronald Reagan signed immigration reform over 30-some years ago.
Yeah, it's because
Why can't the Republicans and the Democrats get together like you or I are sitting here calmly talking about this to have some
because
immigration reform?
we are playing game with it.
Now, could you build and bridge that gap where to be that
Yes,
way?
sir, of course, because myself being an immigrant, I can't.
Which is the very reason why I said about you came through legally.
Yes.
So therefore, you have a different interpretation of even an American who's been here all his
Yes,
life.
I mean, my son was born here. He is not going to understand immigration because he's an American by birth.
Right.
I'm an American by naturalization. I had to get my green card, and then I had to go through the process of applying for citizenship, and I got it. The only thing not available to me in America is to be president, which is fine with me. But I don't want to see a country where everybody can just walk in, because everybody cannot just walk into our home. America is our home. America is our home. We're a country of immigrants. At the same time, we're a country of laws. We need to obey our laws. And America should not be burdened by the nuisance of people from other countries.
All right. So it's clearly obvious that we can get along. I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican, and it's like we're the odd couple. The only thing that I named Ed, but one of the things that we both agree on is the way the economy is going, cutting inflation and reducing taxes. Those are things that I believe that we need, because I'm recently retired, so I'm losing money each day.
Well, I mean, you can feel that when you go to to fill your car. Last year or 2 years ago, you could fill your car for $30. Today it's going to cost you $50, and your income has not grown.
Right.
At the same rate that your expenses are growing.
So when we're talking about our income not growing and reducing taxes, why do we always concentrate on reducing taxes on those that are higher instead of those people who have to go to the gas station and get their gas?
I mean, the people who make more money obviously may have more resources to go delay their taxes, put lawyers and accountant in the place. This small guy probably doesn't have that, and when they get IRS letter, they panic, they pay their taxes. But we have to have a tax law that is sensible and reasonable. And the reason we are always paying high taxes is because we have so much waste in our budget system. For every $1 billion budget you have in America, there's a 15% waste and redundancy factor in that. So the government keep spending more money that they don't need to on projects that we don't need, and then they pass all that bail back to us. That's why they act like Oliver Twist. More. We need to look at the things we spend money on and begin to cut back on it. Because in our various homes, I mean, sometimes you make a budget and something's not going to happen. You say, no, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, we do it some other time. So our government don't have that. They just constantly piling up on us, the citizens, and we end up with the bills.
So we're talking about the economy. We're talking about cutting inflation, bringing back high-paying jobs. We had said earlier that, what it takes to fill up your gas tank. Bring back high-paying jobs. What are these high-paying jobs?
Well, I mean, a high-paying job is not even like high. What I call reasonable, income for people to have food, shelter, and clothing. We have to satisfy those three basic needs.
Minimum wage.
Well, minimum wage can be what? If
on my side, we say $15 an hour, and that's probably too low.
Okay, but I'm just saying. Remember, in 1985-87, what was the minimum wage? $2.25 an hour.
That's how much it was then?
Yes, that's what I was earning when I worked back then. It was $20 a day. I get. So in a month, what is that? My apartment was $290. I still have to pay taxes out of that. So it's not about the amount of money, is the attitude to the money. There are people who make $1 million today that are broke, and there are people who earn $40,000 that are financially buoyant. So it's the attitude to the money as opposed to how much money. And we've become a culture that is, the more money you make, maybe the happier you get. That's not true. That's not true. So the individual has to say, okay, I'm going to cut my coat according to my size. Ed, you've been to my house. I still have the 1987 BMW that I bought when I came to America, and I still drive the car. I have other cars, but that is the one that I love most. So my income can go up and down. I'm not going to go live in
I still wish I had my BMW from back in the day.
Well, I mean, mine now is worth a ton of money because, you don't have any type of it on the road. It's still good, and it's the car that brought my kids from the hospital when they were born. So there's a history to it. And so it's not about how much money. I was on the government job when I earned $60,000 a year, and I still lived in the same apartment for 8 years.
Now, I don't want to get sentimental about the car that I had.
Yeah.
But the high-paying jobs, and we've already determined that minimum wage is not a high-paying job. Are you in favor of a hike in the minimum wage?
I'm in favor of anybody being paid in America income that enable them live a life that is affordable to them. Is that $20 an hour? Is that $15 an hour? Remember, in America, across various states, if you go to Mississippi, it may not be the same thing. If you go to New York, if you go to California. So we have to recognize wherever you are, you should earn income that gives you the ability to have a roof over your head.
So you do believe in a wage?
I believe, without saying it's high or low, on income that makes an American live a good life. Or an affordable life.
I just wish that other people in the Republican Party would be keen to that they would do that. And like I said, you're reasonable. I mean, some of them
I have a wider scope, Ed. I have a wider scope. I have a wider perspective. If you were born in Dallas, you went to SMU or UTA or UTD, and how high is your knowledge going to be superior to mine, who's been all over the world? How is that going to be possible? We're as good at the scope we have. So a lot of these people are victims of their limited scope and environment. And I don't care how sophisticated you are. You may have gone to Yale, Oxford, whatever it is. If you haven't traveled the world, if you haven't met with other cultures, lived with them, your knowledge is just limited. So what I see with us Americans is a lot of us have that, are victims of that limited environment. And so when perspective is beyond what they know, they kind of, push back at it. But for me, like I said, I came, I lived the way I lived, I did what I have done.
Well, we're family here. It appears that way.
Well, not many people will say they've been to my home. You have been to my home. Yeah. And then, hey, when I saw you the last time, didn't I say somebody to say, go? What did I tell that guy to say to you?
You told that guy who happened to be your son, you said, go tell the village man, my village man, and you saw how I looked around. You saw that. It was like genuine.
I said to him, I said, go tap on that guy. I said, village man, he said.
And it wasn't like, hey, who's, I was like excited.
Because once he said the word, village man.
Yeah. So that's promoting family. Your platform that you say you fight for, promoting family.
Yes.
What is that?
Family is the basis of a community. Before somebody is your teacher, your policeman, your governor, your everything, what is the first authority figure? The parents. When you had your kids, they looked up to you. You're the one that provided them the basis of everything else that is added to them. So if the family is weak, the society is weak. And it's in the family we learn the sense of responsibility, we have the sense of accountability, we respect authority, because your child will respect you. Don't do that. And this is why. I mean, as they grow, they may say, hey, Dad or Mom, why are we always doing that? So when those values are nurtured from the family, the society is better off. But when the society is weak, you have this saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. My mom said no.
I thought that was the African proverb.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Hillary Clinton came up with that just to make whatever agenda she has. My mom said no. The village didn't get her pregnant. So the village is not raising her child. She's going to take responsibility. She will only invite the village to the extent she wants the village to be involved. Because when you defer to the village, then you are abrogating your own responsibility. We should take responsibility for our own family.
That seems like a more American philosophy. I've always been taught that Africans were holistic with the
Africa is to the extent.
And then that's a lump phrase too, because
Yes.
people go Africans and it's like, wait a minute, hold on. Do you know how vast
Africa is like
is?
54 African countries, and in each country there are tribes, and
Right.
they don't get
And
along.
everyone, it's not about unity. It's about
no.
It's
Like
different.
I said, it's family. I'm Igbo. I'm from Nigeria. The way we think and do things is different from another Nigerian who's Yoruba, or Hausa, or Shikiri, or da. So when people say Africa, it's like, what Africa are you talking about? And there's a saying in the village that a farm animal owned by all has a chance of starving than a farm animal owned by one. Because that's you said that's my cow, that's my goat.
All right, he's not going to get my goat, trying to get me to vote Republican. That's not going to happen, folks. So I've been placing this. But because, as I've often said, in black people's families, there's always one in every family, a Republican. It's always one, at least one. We'll be right back after 1 minute. Let's play those drums.
Hi, this is Dominique Collins. I am the judge of Criminal District Court number 4 in Dallas County. I'm also the judge of your Dallas County veterans, serving veterans all over the Metroplex. And when I want to know what's in the hearts, minds of Dallas County, I listen to the Commish Radio Show.
Look what you've done to me. I never thought I'd be like this until
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
Hey, this is Cheryl Smith, and when I'm looking for news and information, I tune into The Commish on Saturdays.
I got so much trouble on my mind. Refuse to lose. Here's your ticket.
Wicked. I love that Public Enemy. Public Enemy. Public Enemy was designed, the song was designed because it was a play on, Public Enemy, police, public enemy, that type of thing. So that gives me a good segue into enforcing law and order. How you going to do that? I mean, you're not going to do like that other guy, I hate to bring this guy up, the guy that was president, who took an army into Lafayette Square and try to clear it out.
Well, when I mean law and order is any society that does not have law and order is a society in chaos. Okay, so I'm talking about our local police, sheriff, the people that respond to us when we have a need. Are we saying we don't need that?
We clearly need it. I have on my Twitter following Ed Grade 1906. I know you follow me on Twitter as well. What's your Twitter handle?
HX1.
Okay, all right. So we'll make sure that we tag this on there, because I was one of the ones that interviewed the past DPD police chief, and quite a few of my.
I mean, in Dallas. Are you talking
Dallas.
about Chief Hall?
Yeah, Chief Hall. I was on the search committee for that.
Awesome woman.
Yeah, search committee for that. I continue to do things in my hometown, Dallas, Texas, enforcing law and order. Black Lives Matter. Do you believe in Black Lives Matter?
I believe any life is worth protecting.
And you understand the concept of Black Lives?
I like the concept, but I don't like the manner in which some of these things become an ambush and extortion tactics. If Black Lives Matters, how come of all the killings that's happened in the black neighborhood, the drive-by shootings, the Chicago issues, they have never stood up to say, stop this. It's only when maybe a police guy has done something to a black person, bam, all of a sudden.
That happens. I mean, black people do say stop the violence and everything.
No, stop it. Did you go to the black neighborhood? When Obama was in office, for the 8 years he was in office, if you look at the crime rate in Chicago, in the South Side where he's come from, he's not the police chief, but he lived there. And then when the last speech he gave as president, He never made a mention of, look, now you live in office. You could say, I'm going to devote myself or my resources because you've been president. Your former chief of staff happens to be the mayor of the city. And he couldn't call him.
Assistant
Romy
chief
Mano.
of staff. Yeah, that means you the right-hand man to the president?
Yes. Obama's house is in south side of Chicago. And things are happening.
I can guarantee you around his neighborhood it's nice.
Well, but what I'm just saying, if you're doing it for your own selfish end.
And that's not selfish, it's just the way it is.
No, but you could have called the chief of staff, former chief of staff, hey, Ram, what do you need? What do you need? What resources do you need? He's the president of America. But, that is neither here nor there. So my point is law enforcement is critical. America is unique because of law enforcement. Now, I'm about criminal justice reform because there are certain things that happen in our society that should not be, reason for people to go to jail. When the police pulls you over and you have a warrant, they don't say what is the nature of the warrant. They just say warrant for your arrest. So it could have been for a traffic violation, something that has nothing to do with anything serious, and they haul you to jail. So the people that you haul to jail for a $40 traffic violation, all of a sudden it's costing them thousands of dollars. All of a sudden their records have been affected. So I'm saying, as a congressman, one of the things I'm going to be speaking about is every warrant has to be identified. If it's for traffic, if it's for something else, so that the policeman can make a determination not to take you to jail.
So that sounds like racial profiling in some
Well,
cases.
they do it for everybody. So if you see, whatever you are, they say warrant for your arrest. They don't specify what the warrant is. So it could have been like, hey, you missed your court date for a traffic issue. And they put you, handcuff you, take you to jail. That's going to cost you thousands of dollars because you're going to bail yourself out, and then you have to go back to court. So you can see how things make people angry in this country. So our law enforcement has to be sensible. It shouldn't be one that is prone to make people criminal out of nothing that shouldn't be considered criminal.
Okay. We're going to have you back on the show again. Because
I'm always available to you, man.
Because I apologize for you trying to find us here.
That's all right. Hey, at least I showed up.
Standing up for America, not globalism. Standing up for America, not globalism. That's kind of broad.
You got to stand up for yourself. I came here because I'm an.
That wasn't a criticism. Just want you to.
I know. Understand? I'm an American by choice. When you leave your home, your country of birth, that you have your privileges. I went to school. I went to any school I wanted. I did anything I wanted because of how I was born and who was my father.
Just so like
but,
I did.
Yeah, but I just gave that up. I said, okay, I'm going to a country where people are going to make fun of my.
So you had it easy over there.
Huh?
You had it easy.
Of course, like I said, the first time I paid rent in my life was in America. And I was 30-something years old.
Wow.
I never really lived in anywhere I had to pay rent.
But that could be like a lot of people I know in America that's 30-something years old, never paid rent, live with their mom and daddy.
No, but my own is I went to boarding school, and then my dad was.
But everybody's not a chief.
Yeah, well, my dad was chief, so I lived in family home.
How many family homes you have over there?
I have one in the city, and I have one in the village.
Must be nice. Must be nice. What is really nice is having this conversation right now. When is election time?
Early voting starts February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. So I hope you guys that live in District 32 will show me your love, and then the final vote is March 1. Again, I'm Edward Okpa running for Congress. There are 6 of us Republicans seeking nomination. I'm the only person of my color that is in that race. If you want to check me out, you go to okpaforcongress.com. Okpa is OKPAFOR, congress.com. I'm a good man. Gray can testify to that. Even though we have different political philosophies, but we are brothers at heart. And for me, that's the most important thing. What can we do for our community that will advance us? However you vote, make sure you vote, but make sure your vote matters. And because America is the only country in the world that does what it does, and there's no alternative to America.
All right. Well, you've been listening to the Commish radio show. We just wanted to go ahead and bring some civility in politics. It's been a rough week for a lot of us here on Facebook Live, right here in this studio, as we open up this session, as we opened up and started talking about civility in politics. And we were mentioning the fact that politics is a battle. It's a battle of more than just wits. It's also a battle of personalities. It's not just a battle of personalities. It's a battle of faith. But I also believe in a faith that all of us can turn to each other, such as myself and Ed Okpa, and have civil conversations, because we can't move this country forward if we're not civil about it. That's something I learned when I was in kindergarten. Perhaps we should all go back to kindergarten. I'm Ed Gray, Commish Radio Show. See you tomorrow.
Hey, how you doing? This is Ed Gray of the Commish Radio Show. Stay tuned and tune in and be up to speed on everything in social justice, human rights, and politics on the Commish Radio Show, airing every Saturday, 5 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.